Back in the early 1980s, Social Security showed up at the operating room one day in critical condition. It had been diagnosed as being on the verge of bankruptcy. This perceived crisis led to the signing of Social Security reform legislation in April of 1983. Here's what Republican President Ronald Reagan said at the signing ceremony.
Today, all of us can look each other square in the eye and say we kept our promises.
And Democratic Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill, said this.
All work together, and this is a happy day for America.
Well, over the past 3 decades, millions of working Americans have been paying in billions more than needed annually. And they're beginning to ask questions, wanting to know what's happened to all that extra cash.
Ex-Nevada Senator
Harry Reid from Nevada attempts to address those questions by saying this.
Social Security is a program that works, and it's fully funded for the next 40 years. Stop Social Security.
Well, that triggered the Social Security Cuckoo alert, issued by Dr. Tom Coburn, the senator from Oklahoma.
Congresses under both Republican and Democrat control have stolen money from Social Security and spent it.
Reflecting on seeing his newly born grandson for the very first time, here's what my old congressman from Texas had to say.
If only my granddad would have done what in his heart he knew he should have been doing when he was in Congress, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today.
And here's what ex-President Obama's Secretary of Treasury,
Jack Lew, had to say about the role he played in the 1983 Social Security taxing scheme.
In 1983, we put Social Security on a firm financial footing. That's one of the things that I'm proudest of in my professional career.
We didn't just take it, we took it and spent it.
And here's that old support group, the Enablers.
AARP believes the country can do better. We can cut wasteful spending without cutting the benefits you've earned.
And where were the enablers? While both Republicans and Democrats were stealing our retirement dollars. And here's what ex-Senator Alan Simpson had to say to our grandchildren after being a willing accomplice in putting their necks in a financial...
Grandchildren now don't write a thank you for the Christmas presents. They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Animal Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
We have stolen
$8
trillion from it. The money's gone. It's been used for another purpose.
And what's ex-President
Barack Obama's solution?
We have found common ground before. Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill came together to save Social Security.
It's obvious those we've elected to serve us have been using a fake Social Security taxing scheme to destroy us. They put the future of those we care about most at risk, that is, their own doggone children and grandchildren. My generation is silently by, while $23 trillion of debt was put on the next generation's credit cards. My generation has stood silently by, while $2.8 trillion of our Social Security retirement dollar overpayments were being spent.
Leaving behind a new $2.8 trillion debt our kids, grands, and greats will have to pay again.
The generational bridge is in disrepair and needs to be repaired.
535 members of Congress will not change their ways until we, you, me, and millions more like us change our ways. And the ball is in our court. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.realjoepower.com and get acquainted with the issues, and then do what you can to help.
It's time to put the red, white, and blue back into the United States of America.